I'm really tempted to turn on the coordinates, man. I'm really tempted, but, you know, I'm just gonna remind myself, look, man, like, just be patient, okay? You just gotta be patient, Trico. You're a very impatient individual, and what has Dark Souls taught you? Well, you need to be patient if you want to win. And winners are patient, probably. Probably. Maybe not patient. Maybe patient is the wrong word. Maybe it's more that maybe it's more like winners respect the process, you know. But the question is, does the process respect them? That's something that we all wonder every day. Okay, well, I'm really not. I don't know how much time I'm going to spend down here any longer, because I'm really starting to. I mean, I am finding resources, but just not the ones that I want, you know. I was hoping we would run into some sort of cave system, but we're really not finding anything. I mean, thank God in the newest versions, like, if you just mine past the deep slate, which is formerly known as bedrock, or at least, you know, like where the bedrock is over here, that's where deep slate typically spawns. So, like, that's where it typically spawns in modern versions. And if you mine past that, you are generally guaranteed. You are almost guaranteed, or pretty much guaranteed, to find either I don't know if it's officially called the depths or just deep caves or something. But yeah, usually that's like you're guaranteed almost 100% to find one. Even if it does involve some digging, like, you usually come across one eventually. But here, man, it's like, once you hit bedrock, you can't mine further than that, and it's annoying. I'm glad that they changed that. Some people have been complaining about the updates, in fact. They keep saying, like, oh, the caves are too expansive. I'm actually happy. I do agree that it's a little tedious. Or, okay, maybe not a little tedious. It's very tedious to explore, just because of the massive scale of it, but it's not really, in my opinion, it's one of those things where it's like, it's really not a problem for me. Like, I personally am okay with how they're doing it now, just because it's so much easier to find resources, because I don't want to have to waste time looking for resources. I mean, I obviously don't want it to be too easy, because if it's too easy, well, you know, like, that's, again, that goes into the whole brain rot thing, and you know, being impatient and wanting, okay, it plays into the whole topic of promoting instant gratification. You don't want things handed to you far too quickly, too instantly, just because of how, you know, it trains your brain. I mean, I'm not an expert on science or anything, so don't take my advice literally, but the way that I see it is, you know, when you have things handed to you instantly, or like when if you get everything that you want far too quickly, like, you're conditioning yourself to think, oh, well, you know, like I can just get whatever I want, and, you know, like, it basically plays into the whole instant gratification plus entitlement plus whatever words there are in the dictionary. So there's a lot to discuss, but right now I can't seem to find any resources down there. We pretty much dug further down to bedrock, and there's just nothing. Like, it's so annoying. But anyway, yeah. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put some more of this iron to smelt, because honestly we're gonna need a ton of iron. I think this will be the most that I'll do for now, but so it's gonna be in somewhere in the 30s or 40s, whatever. I can't math. Okay, anyway, I'm just at this point I'm just yapping. I mean, the entire playthrough has just been about me yapping, but honestly, man, like, I swear. Like, I've never yapped as much as I have in my entire life. Well, in the land of videos. And also my Dark Souls playthroughs. You should see my Dark Souls playthroughs. I do a ton of yapping there. So if you enjoy hearing a man yap about nothing, you should definitely check out Dark Souls. I mean, that game brings out the worst in virtually everyone, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I don't see why it wouldn't, to be honest. I mean, people say that Uno destroys friendships and relationships and everything, but trust me, you haven't seen Dark Souls. That game is that game is a haven for just how many times can you get pissed off. I mean, maybe it won't ruin your relationship, maybe it'll actually solidify it, so yeah, I definitely suggest checking that out. It's called Dark Souls Atrocities is the name of the playlist. Not the name of the game. Obviously the name of the game is Dark Souls. Which I do want to continue recording this. I mean, I know that this is irrelevant to Minecraft, but I do want to continue recording Dark Souls. I'm mainly saying this because it's relevant to the people watching. But I would definitely highly suggest you check it out. I've been wanting to record more of it, but it's just that I have to be in the mood. The problem with it is that I have to be in the mood, because the problem is whenever you play that game, you're doing the same thing over and over again. Like, you're just dying over and over, and it gets really frustrating. I haven't quit it, though. I haven't quit it. I don't think I'm ever going to quit Dark Souls. Unless, like, my computer gives out, because, you know, like, this is an old computer. So, the hardware is very funky. It can be very not at times optimized or in the best condition. But I do want to record more Dark Souls, and I certainly haven't quit the game either. Like, I don't think... I mean, there will be times when I will probably rage quit, but I'm not going to quit permanently, you know? Like, it's just not a thing. But the problem with recording Dark Souls just comes down to the editing process. I mean, it's easier for me to edit than it is for me to play, but I have to play the game and beat the game, and then I have to also edit the thing, because I don't have an editor doing the work for me. So, you know, it makes my job a little harder because of that, because I don't have an editor, but at the same time, I don't know if I would want an editor. It's like, you know, like, I see this channel as like a personal project, especially a passion project, and I don't want just anyone tampering with it. So that's kind of why I try to do everything by myself. I mean, if I could hire an editor, I probably would, but I don't know. It's just not a thing that's... It's not an option that's available to me right now, just because of my lack of resources. I mean, all the big content creators and streamers and all these other people have social media managers and editors and all these different people, and then, you know, it's not like everyone has access to that. I understand that perfectly. I'm just in the majority with regards to that, because there's probably a minority of content creators that actually have people editing, but maybe there's a lot too. Maybe it isn't a majority, and I'm just talking garbage. Man, I gotta be honest about the latest updates though. The music, I mean, some people have been saying that they really don't like the music. I actually really like the music. I just wish that they involved C418. I wish that they involved them in the latest versions. I mean, there's been rumors that an end update is coming out. Like, there are rumors that that's going to be coming out. Probably not in 2025, though. I highly doubt it's going to be 2025. I think the perfect time for it to come out would be 2026, because then it's going to be 10 years officially since the combat update, which is the worst update in the history of ever. But 1.9, aka the combat update, aka the update that everyone hates, You know, like that's it's officially going to be about 10 years since that came out, because it came out in 2016. And well, that just drastically changed the core mechanics of the game. So if there is an end update, I really hope that they update the combat too. Not just for Java, but also for Bedrock Edition, because they say that they wanted there to be parity between the two versions. I mean, I think, here's the way that I see it, right? I just find it very ridiculous how, you know, they even bothered to keep the combat at 1.9 for so long. And I mean, the reason why, I don't know, it's okay. The best way that I can explain it is, I think that if they had to change the combat update, or if they had to change the combat, they probably should have reverted it while it was best. They probably should have reverted it at like 1.10 or something. Because, I mean, like, all these updates later, and it's like, well, people still hate it, but we're just used to it now. You know, it's too late to change it now. But I think it's a good idea to change it for the end update. Just because, you know, like, especially with how they changed the caves and everything like that, and the mob spawning might have changed, especially, I'm not entirely sure. I don't really keep up with that. Like, I do feel like they should definitely change it. Like, it would be the perfect time. I just think that, you know, like, I'm finding it very confusing how they kept Bedrock Editions the exact same. And, you know, I'm very vocal about the updates. So, like, if I don't like something, I try to make my thoughts clear, you know. And I mean, like, opinions are sort of overrated, but I have an outlet to express myself. So I will use that outlet and criticize a game that I've been playing for since 2014, so like literally 11 years, probably officially. I'm not sure if it's actually going to be 11 years, but I just know that it was like somewhere in the middle of August, which is when I first started playing. Or is it August? It was in the middle of like 2014. It could have been August, it could be September. It was around the same time that I made my first Roblox account. Yeah, I really feel like it's just really strange how they kept Bedrock Edition's combat the same. And I know it's because, well, Bedrock Edition is tailored to multiple platforms beyond just PC, because right now I'm playing Java, what is currently known as quote-unquote Java Edition. I mean, I understand like why they had to rename it, so that, you know, you clear up the confusion. It's like, oh, this is the Java version, well, people play that. But also it's like, I don't know, man. I think that although like they still work on the game and they still very much care about it, and the developers very clearly prioritize Java, which is a good thing, you have to understand that like I don't think that renaming a game is, from its original thing, is a good idea, personally. I mean, it's like I know that whenever Dark Souls released on PC, like they ported it over to PC, they called it Prepare to Die Edition, and I think they also bundled it with the Artorias of the Abyss DLC. I'm not entirely sure. Like, they might have bundled it with that, and I understand why they did that, and that one's understandable, because the game didn't release on PC first. I mean, it was probably made on PC, like, developed, as most apps and games and pretty much everything is, but, you know, Dark Souls didn't release on PC first. It released on, I don't know if it's the PS3 or Xbox 360 or something, and then they just ported it over, and it was a really bad port. And then the mods were made for, you know, Prepare to Die Edition. So I don't know, it's a weird case of having Minecraft be renamed to Java. Like, I've always found that weird. I mean, it's not, you know, like, obviously I know that they're working on the game, and I will continue to play the game, but I think that the way that they're marketing it is just not, I don't like how they're marketing it. I mean, I understand that it's available on multiple devices. Like, there's crossplay so you can play with your friends on mobile, console, and PC together. I mean, it doesn't stop it from being buggy as... Okay, well, I'm going to try not to swear during Minecraft, okay? Like, I'm going to save the swearing for Dark Souls if I can. Although, if I blurt it out, well, you know, it happens. But, yeah, it's like... Bugrock Edition is what I want to call that. Yeah, like it's referred to as Bugrock Edition by the community, by some members of the community, erroneously, and it's like, I mean, I can't really blame them because, you know, there's a bunch of bugs that even the people who play Bedrock Edition are complaining about, and it's like, you want to tell me that a version that people play on multiple platforms has this many bugs, especially game-breaking or, you know, death-causing bugs, and you want to tell me, oh, you know, like, like, we're gonna rename this to Bedrock Edition. It's better together. Or or not rename it to Bedrock Edition. It's called Bedrock Edition by the community. We're gonna rename it from Pocket Edition or Windows 10 Edition to just Minecraft, and then we're just gonna rename it. It's like, I don't know. It's just a nitpick that I have, and I complain about it all the time. I whine and complain about it. It's simply just I don't know. It's just, as someone who grew up on PC, it's just kind of weird, you know. Like I feel like since a majority of the community already refers to it as Bedrock Edition anyway, and it's even marketed as Bedrock Edition. On, I think it's the bug website, like the bug and reporting feedback thing website. Yeah, it's like, it's just kind of weird. Like, if the community refers to it as that, just call it that, or I don't know, put a subtitle up that says Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Don't call it Minecraft. It's like, that's confusing. I mean, if there is anything on the app stores, which it could be a reason too that they're calling it Minecraft, and that's because, like, on a majority of the devices, or yeah, on the majority of the devices app stores, there are Minecraft clones, and it makes it easier to know which one is the real game. And obviously, you don't want people downloading the wrong thing. But I mean, I don't know. I don't see why that would be a problem, considering, like, Minecraft is at this point a household name. I mean, my father is literally a boomer, and he even knows what Minecraft is. I mean, he obviously knows what Minecraft is because, like, he's been seeing me play it for years, and yeah, I mean, he's been hearing about it and stuff. So, and I talked to him about it. So it's like at this point, it's a household name. I don't see how you would get it confused unless, you know, for whatever reason you have dyslexia or something like that. But it's just kind of... Also, I realize that I'm doing a lot of mining and not actually making any real progress. I apologize. But really, I mean, I'm not really having any luck here, man. It's just kind of sad. But yeah, I really don't understand why they thought renaming the game would just make things easier. I mean, at least it points you into knowing that, okay, you see the one that says Java Edition, which is the one with the subtitle and also doesn't have the marketplace? Yeah, play that one. So it kind of does help let people on YouTube, especially me, because I'm gonna do it. I really don't like Bedrock Edition. Okay, it's not that I don't like Bedrock Edition. To be more specific, I don't like how it's being marketed. I think that the way that it's being marketed by Mojang is terrible. I mean, they do a lot of terrible things. They made a lot of controversial updates, and I agree. I think that you know, like, when the community calls you out for doing something bad, you should probably reverse course if you can. I mean, a lot of companies don't like to admit it. They don't like to revert updates because then it makes it look as though, you know, oh, this was a mistake. You know, it makes it look as though, you know, like they are in the wrong or something. But it's like, it's really not that hard to take accountability. Like, just admit that you messed up, you know. Like, just admit that you messed up, man. I know that they probably don't do it because they also don't want, like, articles being written about it, but, like, people can just do that on social media easily anyways. Like, people just run their mouths on social media. It's really not hard to do nowadays. So, like, just admit that you're wrong, you know? Revert the update if you have to. Why do you think old school RuneScape exists? It's because the developers realized that, you know, after the community complained about a lot of things like the what do you call it, the evolution of combat update, after that, and especially like other updates that they made to it regarding microtransactions, yeah, like they reversed course, they released old school, and yeah, like that's what they did. So, and the thing that really sucks about it too is that you can't even go back to play the older versions of Bedrock Edition without torrenting it. You have to install a separate launcher that saved all of the versions on Windows 10 edition, and that's the thing that sucks, is you can't, like, unless you have some kind of mobile emulator or something, you can't go back and play the old alpha versions of Pocket Edition, which is what Bedrock Edition started out as, for those who don't know. So it's just kind of really odd to me. Yeah, I've never gone. I know that I said a lot there. I haven't really gone into the reasons why, because I always keep saying, oh, like I don't really like Bedrock Edition. Yeah, like that's pretty much the full reason. I know that it's just up to personal preference, and I have no problems with Bedrock Edition being its own thing. I think that it should continue to exist. I think that it does a lot of good things. But the problem is you can't mod it like you can with Java unless you're probably on PC. Maybe it's possible to mod it. I mean, anything can be modded. I mean, there are games that are written in C++, which Bedrock Edition was Minecraft essentially written or rewritten from the ground up in C++. Just for the sake of, or just for the sole intent of making it cross-compatible, which is kind of ridiculous to me because like Java is available on so many mobile devices. Like I think the only device that it can't be played on is console, and that's the reason why they use C++ in the first place, because, you know, the goal of Minecraft was to bring everyone together. But they do such a terrible job with Bedrock Edition, man. Like, holy crap. Like they do such a terrible job marketing it, and sometimes even implementing the features for it. Also, check it out. Got some gold.